What's up, everybody? Jeffrey Lyles. You're rocking with Lyles Movie Files. I went to the dentist today. It was unpleasant. The people were awesome, super nice. So if I sound like a mushmouth, you understand, and please forgive me. Hopefully, the fellas can help me as I continue to deal with this. What's up, little brother?
I'm good. How are you? Well, besides, a little bit of dentist fun. How are you?
I'm good. I felt like I just turned in my progress report. We don't have to deal with that as adults. But when we go to the dentist, it's like, yeah, here's a C, here's a D, ooh, here's another D, here's a C minus. And I don't have to worry about the shame of showing my parents it anymore, but I just have to go home in the car and just go like, yeah, I sucked in my teeth. Okay, so that's what's happening. Jay King, what's up with you, man?
Doing great, Jeff. Hopefully your dental bill and your dental health will be improved soon. Believe me, I know how that is. At least they haven't started extracting things from you yet, so be glad.
Yes.
Be glad.
Yes. I have a wisdom tooth very deep within the recesses. I think it's actually hiding and holding my superpowers. So if they can unlock that, then I can emerge as a superhero mutant in my mid 40s. That'd be awesome. The world's oldest mutant, only on Disney Plus. Speaking of Disney Plus, how's that for a segue? The world's juggernaut is at it again, and they have struck a partnership with Sony to bring to the fold the Spider-Man films and all the subsequent uh, installments for the Andrew Garfield ones, the Tobey Maguire ones, and even the spin-offs like Venom and Morbius. And that's going to start next year, which conveniently enough is the same year we're going to get a new Spider-Man film into the Spider Verse, which the theme will be that, and we'll see potentially maybe if these badly kept rumors are true, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire and so many cast of thousands from other Spider-Man films in this latest one, which means everyone can see all these other films and then go to the theaters or premium access on Disney Plus if theaters are still in a contamination zone to see them. What do you guys think about this deal?
Honestly, Disney knows how to look out for their people who subscribe and knows how to get new subscribers. And honestly, I think this is like if you're an actor for those original um, Spider-Man movies, you were ecstatic about this news because it's like I don't think I have HBO Max and these movies aren't there. They're not on Fox, so it's like now I can get some streaming revenue in here because Blu-rays and those sales aren't as frequent anymore. So I now have a new revenue stream. So this is I'm sure they are happy about this, depending if their contracts allowed for new technology. Um, and for us, I mean, and going back to people like us who subscribe to Disney Plus, we got we now probably have like 10 extra movies just to watch on a weekend if we choose, and that's a great thing for content. So it's a great deal.
Yeah. Speaking of physical media, you mentioned your disgust the last time you went to one of our nearby Best Buys, one that we would go to for Black Friday to scoop up all of the cheap. Hey, come to our store, buy a TV, get 10 free Blu-rays, basically. And now you may be challenged to find 10 Blu-rays in the stores. They don't want them, and I'm still not down with streaming because I went to watch Train to Busan finally on Netflix, and Netflix was like, "Oh, dude, you didn't get the memo. That left Netflix." And I was a little bit annoyed, so I had to watch it through our cable system's one of their random apps called Crackle, and this Joker had time commercial breaks, so it didn't matter what was going on. At least TV, when they put them on there, they had the decency. Hey, this is made for a decent break for a commercial point. These jokers are like in the middle of a, hey, the zombies are coming. They're starting to reanimate, and they're right about to grab the little girl. Commercial break. It's like, listen, whoever's in charge of these commercial breaks should be reassigned.
And that's like YouTube. I mean, they're just like, hey, we want our money.
Yeah, right.
Like, okay,
He's going to the big part of the song or whatever. hey, this is Jake, and I'm selling you some new and improved dishwasher detergent. Like,
Do you
no,
want to be an Amazon store owner?
yeah,
All you need
What
is
if I told you
$5,000 a
there
month.
was a fast and easy way for you to lose weight? Will you give me 15 minutes of explaining absolutely nothing and click the link below? I'll tell you even less than I'm telling you right now in an hour-long video on my website.
Yeah. With an ebook that you can download for only $4.95, telling you absolutely nothing that you don't already know.
Don't forget, we got a promo code for you, Lyle's Movie Files. It's a mess. So I was disgusted. And I'm like, this is why I continue to buy Blu-rays. I don't care if I'm going to have to buy it from the little man under the bridge in the shady lighting. I'm going to continue to buy Blu-rays because I want control of my commercial break started. And I don't want to be up for debate when, hey, we've made a new partnership. That means you've got to subscribe $80 to a new streaming service that you don't already have. I'm not for it. Javon, what about you, man? What do you think on this?
Dude, streaming is the new cable. It's become the new evil. I I've said this. We are paying now for, let me get this right, HBO Max, Amazon, Disney, and if I'm not mistaken, I think there's one more. I'm not 100% sure, but I think there's one more service we're paying. And Netflix, that's five. That's five streaming services, and we have cable. We don't need that much damn media. On top of a cable bill. Cable bills are massive. It depends on the equipment you have and the plans you have. Couple that with the fact that you're now paying for multi-streaming platforms. You could be talking about easily a bill between $250 to $320 for entertainment. We look, during this pandemic, my wife and I said, look, we need to entertain our family as best we can. And how do you do that when everything has been closed and you're taking precautions, keeping everyone safe and in the house? You have to give them options. So with that said, you end up spending an insane amount of money on your viewing privileges. Streaming is now the new cable. Cable has been what it has been for a long time. With cable comes everything that we hate about TV. 1,000 channels where only 27 of them are actually providing content that you may want to watch or even dare to turn to. Ads upon ads upon ads. Try watch an episode of your favorite show on network cable or network television and tell me how much of, let's say it's an hour episode of The Walking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead, you only have about a half hour sitcom worth of actual show. It feels like it's only
like
22
44 minutes.
It feels like it's less than that.
Well, if it's a popular show, it does feel less than that. But I was really to the point where I was like, you know what, I need to see because this is irritating me. And it was like, yo, this is 44 minutes of 60 minutes. And these commercials come terrible. And they're so frequent that it's not a block. It's just like, it's an onslaught of commercials. Worse than the zombie invasion.
It's terrible, and it's an onslaught. So you turn to streaming, and what I knew was going to happen at some point, there's no way to keep ad dollars out of the pockets of any service provider because, hey, it pays bills. It allows for you to create more content. It allows for us to expand as a streaming provider because now streaming services want to provide their own content and not just have to rely on the content of other studios. So it's a necessary evil, but ads ain't going nowhere, and it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse.
So much worse. So much worse. Speaking of worse, this week we lost another rap icon, Black Rob, the iconic singer of Whoa, and several affiliations and collaborations with Puff Daddy died. At the time of his death, he was doing Kickstarters to pay for hotels. He had 4 strokes, he said, and I think he last tweeted out, after DMX died, and people were like, "Yo, what's going on with Black Rob? Yo, how's Puff letting Black Rob end up like this?" And Mark Curry, also one of the Bad Boy for Life crew members, said, "Nah, Puff has been trying. Puff, we need some more help, man." But Puff I don't know what happened. If Puck tried to reach out, Black Rob was like, "Whoa!" And sorry. Go ahead, last one. It's okay. Um, yeah, but we don't know what happened, right? But now people are like pissed off at Diddy. They're like, "Screw you and your Ciroc." And where were you when Black Rob needed you? What do you guys think on this? Because people are real funny on this kind of stuff.
Okay.
Oh, Javon's got some thoughts. Okay.
Jace, please go for
Okay, sorry guys.
What I'm gonna say is gonna get us put off the air.
Then we don't have to worry about our promo codes and sponsors right now.
Okay. So here's the deal. Puff is always gone with fresh acts. He's never had these guys to lifelong contracts. He's like, hey, if you're hot, you're on my label. If you're not, I'm going to the next generation trying to make some money. There's nothing wrong with being a businessman. And it's like, we all kind of like, all the Bad Boy crew was family, but it's like, no, they weren't family. These dudes came after Puff was on Uptown Records. I mean, like, if you talk to him about Ace and Big, yeah, after that, it was these are the money-making crew. I hate to say it, these were the paychecks to keep Bad Boy lights on. I mean, I hated to see when they showed the video of Black Rob wishing DMX well, and he's in the hospital bed, it's like, damn, that's messed up. But it's like, if you have a chance to make money, especially in rap, it's like, back then you had 4 years. And once your 4 years was up, you squirreled away all your money because you didn't have these Jay-Z careers. It's like, your 4 years is up, high school's done, that's all your money you're getting. So,
because Jay, you either get shot, killed, or arrested, or you OD. I mean, there's so many different ways the rap game doesn't have a happy ending.
I mean, yeah, it's like, I mean,
rapper is the most dangerous job out there right there.
Yeah, you're not getting insured as a rapper.
Yeah, I mean, like it's like I would think Lil Wayne would basically be around for like almost 30 years. Like we saw that dude on Cash Money Record. Like, oh yeah, by the time I'm done with college, it'll be done. But I mean, now these guys sign all these money, but like, back then that was not the case. And if your first album didn't go platinum, you need to swerve all that money away, and that was sadly what you do. But you still keep the guy's number. Like, hey, plus y'all need a reunion, so I'm still available. And hey, that's what happened. But it sucks. But I don't fault Puff for like, hey, if you need something, give me a call. But I'm not just free giving away all my money because that's what none of us do. So whatever.
I'm like, can you imagine if McDonald's, every time a former employee had some health issues, people got upset because McDonald's didn't pay for their health stuff. Yo, remember back 20 years ago when you worked for McDonald's? Why are they doing stuff for you?
He was employing them up.
You see that?
Why are they not taking care of the actor that played Grimace in a 1983 McDonald's ad? That man is sick. Help him out, McDonald's.
No, I'm boycotting. I'm not drinking any more Ciroc now and protesting up. Jay King, what do you think about this?
Hey, look it. Hey, Black Rob is a big boy. He was a big boy. He was a 50-year-old man. He signed with Diddy when he was what? I guess in his late 20s or so. He made what money?
That was like the late 90s, man.
Yeah, that was the late 90s, 2000. It wasn't like, look, for anybody that's thinking, rappers made money back then. For what it's worth, Black Rob had one of the hottest singles in the country at that point. Black Boy was number one on a few charts, right?
Or Mike.
He made some money. Well, yeah, he made some money. Maybe not a lot, but he made enough money to do something else with. I'm not, I don't know what exactly he made, but like I said, it's up to you at that point. You can't expect anybody to have a responsibility to you. It's like when Beanie Siegel was mad at Jay-Z for not taking stewardship over him, when he was trying to get released into parole or custody of someone as a grown man, right? And it was like, look, at that point in time, you had 2 movies, 3 albums, and a clothing line under your belt, and you hadn't even gone platinum. What are you expecting this man to do further for you? And the same thing applies here. Like, look, Diddy's offering to pay for what he can, the funeral expenses, etc. But he's not indebted to Black Rob the same way Black Rob wasn't indebted to him. He wasn't indebted to Diddy. He didn't look. If Diddy said, "I'm doing an album now, I need you to write 15 tracks," okay, well, where's my money? Was what Black Rob would have told him, right? So it's at the end of the day, it's a business. It is a business. It's one that chews up and spits people out on a regular basis, but it is a business. All the same,
Just like
you
every
don't
other
owe him
business.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Gunner, Chief, we've been talking about this Black Rob situation and people being pissed at Puff. Y'all got anything to add on it?
What's up, y'all? All I know is the famous single that he had, only single, right? Like, name another Black Rob song other than being on P. Diddy and the Family. Right, exactly. So, like, whoa, right? Didn't he say he lived a fast life? I'm like, shit, he's 50 years old and croaked. I'm sorry, that's not Diddy's fault. Diddy didn't make poor health decisions or eating decisions or whatever the hell.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, come on, man.
Hey, Javon, remember like 10 minutes ago when you said you were going to be the one to get us kicked off? Gunner was like, whoa.
Oh, I didn't even know. Listen, I mean, let's be real, man. He is not. People blaming Diddy for real.
Yeah,
I mean, Diddy has a track record, but you know what I mean? What you gonna do? Like, I mean, he's a business dude. He can produce an album, whatever. And that Beanie Siegel comparison, good lord. Like, first of all, it is. I mean, I'm with you, J King, because you know, I mean, that is like Jay-Z coming. I mean, it's saying like, wait, but your album's flopped. Like, I remember that Beanie Siegel joint, and I've made that a frisbee after I listened to that crap. Like, come on, man. That was like one of the last CDs I bought, actually, ever. Yeah. And I was like, it was the last CD I ever bought. I was like, yo, this is a frisbee. I'm going to digital now. It's just terrible.
Hey,
anyway.
Listen, that would be like Tamar Davis asking Beyonce for money because she was part of the original Destiny's Child. I know y'all like, who? I just looked it up.
Yeah.
I don't even know her name.
No, didn't she do that?
Hey, listen, which would still be jacked up. I could understand Michelle going, hey, buddy, can you throw me a few dollars? Not Tamar. And not
Again, didn't she try? I thought she tried that. So there you go.
Latoya Luckett,
perfect example.
Like, look, you steal checks. You cash steal checks.
Right. And again, 50 years old, yo. I mean, I don't know if he was sick or something, like for real sick, but it didn't seem like it. I thought it was just, he just died, like poor health.
Yeah, 4 strokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, son, that's just poor eating at that point, man. Like that's I don't know, man. That's high blood pressure. Yeah. 50, homie? Come on, man. I mean, knock it on wood and whatever, but hopefully I can last past that, but I don't eat like shit. I don't know. So I'm just saying that I don't know how that's Diddy's fault. That's all I gotta say.
I can't wait till all the protests at Gunner's place after they hit this episode. Chief, what do you think?
I was singing and flower bringing. Bad boys.
I think people were mad at Puff more or less so.
More or less.
Puff comes off as this philanthropist, like this good guy, this eternally good guy. You know, I don't know if the problems between them or whatever, but I think Puff used to rob the hell out of his daughters. So
used to.
Let's be honest. So he probably owed Black Rob some money anyway. To be honest with you, hold on one second. So Black Rob was more or less owed that. You know, he might have been owed some funeral expenses. And it's funny because I was looking, I was like, you know what, man? What was a long time ago? But I bet you Diddy made a couple million, while Black Rob maybe about 40,000, 50,000. His
that's no different than anybody else.
Right. Patted him on his ass and then told him to, yeah. Because if you think about it, even with Biggie was his number one guy. Because Biggie had to do a double album to renegotiate his contract. That's why he did that double album. He was signed on for 3 albums. He did Ready to Die, and then Life After Death was a double CD. in order to get rid of that contract Diddy had him under. Diddy was out here raping them. You know what I mean? Raping You Records. I don't know if you remember that from the Locks. They did a skit on Raping You Records.
Keep raping you and raping.
So, you know, I'm not saying that sometimes when you come from a difficult place and you're trying to make it in the industry, you take those crappy contracts. And I'm not saying Diddy owed him anything legally. You know what I mean? Not if Diddy didn't do anything at all for him, you can't technically be mad at Diddy. But I'm saying in the long run, Diddy knows you know you owe your artist more than you've given them. Hell, after Biggie died and all those millions came in, you think Valletta Wallace is somewhere sitting on 25, 30 million after that Biggie thing? He ain't give all that money to Valletta. You know what I mean? Just like Fat Joe didn't give all the Pun's money to Pun's family. They just took, they took that money, put it in the pocket, and it is what it is. So, funeral wise, yeah. Now, did he owe Rob a better life? Absolutely not. But yeah, he was right to throw a couple of dollars towards that funeral. I mean, just because they had that relationship and $10,000 is not even going to register on your bank account. It won't even notice that. It's like dropping a blade of grass in the street.
Right. That last verse took care of it with the Ciroc advertising all over everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right. All right. So moving along, Gunnar, I'm glad you're with us this week because we're talking about your favorite topic, reboots, and we got a pair of them for you. And I cannot wait to hear your take on both of them. First, after one failed resurrection attempt, we are now getting it. How I Met Your Father, with Hilary Duff attached to star. In the near future, Sophie, played by Hilary Duff, is telling her son the story of how she met his father. A story that catapults us back to the year 2021, where Sophie and her close-knit group of friends are in the midst of figuring out who they are, what they want out of life, and how to fall in love in the age of dating apps and limitless options. How quickly are you signed up for this project?
Talking to me?
Yeah. I know you're excited about it.
Come on, man. I mean, it was a silly idea. After this is like Joey. Like, okay, Friends, and then we're going to do Joey. And you knew that joint was going to last like 5 episodes at best. And, I was right? We were right? So it sounds like Joey didn't, like I think we'd already mentioned that didn't CBS pass on this after that abysmal last season? Oh, my God. I hope it's like we have fatigue from it also because that show really should have lasted like after season maybe 5, and I'm being generous. That show kind of gets dragged on, man. And I'm being generous. I think 5 I didn't really dig. And then some sprinkles of good episodes in between, Sundress joint. But other than that, I'm like, I just got fatigued from that storyline, that plot, that format, right? So why? I don't know, man. Now I got to see the girl version, which, yay, good job, cool. A little late, though. Like, a lot late, though. It should have actually came on right after if they were going to do it. Now I'm like, why do I want to see it now? And then Hilary Duff. Seriously, when's the last time we saw Hilary Duff? Now, mind you, I was very wrong about Charlie Sheen and the first show he was in, but 2.5 Men. I was like, man, we ain't seen Charlie Sheen in a show in forever, and then that show turned out to be pretty good. So I could be wrong there, but again, Hilary Duff never really impressed me. So of all the actresses to be, the Ted in this, I don't get it. That's me.
I was just curious. Isn't Hilary Duff in her 40s?
Thank you.
Oh well, what does age matter in this kind of thing?
Well, I mean, I'm saying, is she supposed to be starring in, or is she just supposed to be the narrator?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think that you would bother having her on there. I mean, she doesn't look whatever. She's 33. She could do that role.
She look in her 40s.
She looked like she's 40-something years old. I don't know, but she looked like she's 45. 1.
Bad,
2.
I'm curious. I was trying to figure out if she was going to be in the show or not, because I think that makes sense too. But I mean, okay, 33, all right.
All right, James, go ahead.
Okay. All right. So here's the deal. I was with the idea of this show coming up after that ninth season was very much like, you got to be kidding me. That it's like CBS basically was like, we are not touching this after you guys basically milked us out of at least 4 seasons, and where you basically did a flashback clip season 9. You didn't. I mean, I'm trying to figure out which one has the worst season. I mean, series finale season, How I Met Your Mother or Supergirl. It's a competition right now. But it was so lazy on them. It's like, hey, we could expand this whole last episode into a season. Now we got to make this show about Barney. So we're going to find out who is going to be the Barney of How I Met Your Father, and it's going to take over the whole show. And then it's going to suck if you decide to jump on board with the same creators who gave you How I Met Your Mother, which should have been dead 4 seasons before it was dead. So I'm going to big pass on that. Thank you for being on Hulu. So it doesn't even make me think that maybe I'll even watch the show.
Well, maybe you can go over to Javon's because I think that's one of the 80 streaming packages he has.
You know, hey, we got fur fighters to play. We ain't got time for that mess. Nah.
All right.
Anybody got time for that?
Javon, I'm going to cue you up on this one, buddy. We've also got another reboot, Fantasy Island. It is coming. It's going to be a modern semi-anthology series that delves into the what-if questions, both big and small, that keeps us awake at night. Each episode will tell stories about people who walk in with a desire, but end up reborn to themselves through the magical realism of Fantasy Island. How do you like that pitch? It's good, huh?
Yeah, I mean, if it was 1981, nobody give a shit about that no more, Jeff. No, seriously, man. Nobody would like. I was thinking about that the other day. And guys, y'all know, man. I think, Chief, you and I talked about this a while back when we were discussing shows we'd like to bring back. If you remember, this is like a year ago now. When we were talking about those shows, like what was that, Amazing Stories and The Hitchhiker, and what was another great one, like Tales from the Dark Side and all of that stuff. These kind of shows, these anthology series, other than like Black Mirror, that's the only one I can think about, or I think I can think of over the last 20 years, 25 years or so, that have been successful. Even
Love, Death, and Robots.
Huh?
Love, Death, and Robots. That's a great anthology, animated, animatrix style. FYI. Mm-hmm.
But you know, but that's the thing, Gunnar. These shows aren't coming on network TV. You know what I mean? Like, other than what was that? Like other than like Black Mirror, you know, that was the only one that really hit in the last 2.5 decades. I can't see it having a huge following because didn't they try to resurrect Fantasy Island with a movie a couple of years ago? Nobody saw. You know, I just
what channel is this going to be on?
Yeah, that's another question. Is it streaming?
Hold on.
CBS.
You know, that sounds a little too ethnic for CBS.
ABC.
We like to put our minorities on display, like Bob and loves Abusha.
Bob loves Umfufu, only on CBS. Damn. That's what they say.
Don't give them ideas. Don't give Viacom any ideas, man. And Tyler Perry will write it too.
Anyway. All right, let's see. Oh, here you go. It's going to be a Fox.
Even better.
Oh, it's doomed.
Oh,
it's doomed.
Super flop.
Doomed. I don't get that
Lethal
past
Weapon.
6 episodes. For the network that brought you Sons of Tucson, just insert conveyor belt of failure. It's Fox. It's a conveyor belt of failure. They just canceled that show. What was that show with the Steve Jobs type where don't talk to our version of Siri because it's gonna kill your mother? That it was like supposed to be this exposing show. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all don't know what I'm talking about. They did this show, right? And I like the concept of it.
During football season.
But that's where I saw the promos, Jay. Only during football season, right?
The only reason we would watch Fantasy Island is if it was premiering after the Super Bowl and we forgot to turn the channel. Like, come on.
No, we're just so happy with the 49ers winning, we just kept it on. But since that happened,
keep it on because everybody's celebrating.
I keep turning it. Yeah. What if? What if?
Well, no, this is doomed to fail. It's on Fox. I give it 6. I give it to the mid-season point, and then they'll be rolling out something with who act as a surefire sign that your sitcom has failed or your TV show has failed.
Maybe
It used to
Rob
be Heather
Lowe.
Locklear.
No, that was
Huh?
when the show was in trouble, and then he brought her on, and
He
it
brought
spiked
in
the ratings for a
Locklear.
couple of seasons.
Yeah.
So
We got
maybe
Tim
they
Allen.
put Rob Lowe.
Tim Allen's available.
Nah, man, no, he wouldn't work. We put Rob Lowe on there as Mr.
Charlie
Roy's
Sheen.
cousin. He shows up as Mr. Roy's cousin to help out and run the island for a little bit, and then Jennifer Love Hewitt shows up as the assistant.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's that. I'm not
Either
looking
way,
forward
this
to
ain't gonna work.
I'm telling you, man, Fox, man. Fox presents the man with 3 tongues. He talks like this, like this, like this.
It's terrible. Speaking of something that is not going to be terrible, Emilia Clarke, late of Game of Thrones fame, is going to be joining Marvel's Secret Invasion. So if you've been paying attention at home, this means Secret Invasion is going to have a ridiculous cast. Samuel L. Jackson, Ben Mendelsohn, Kingsley Ben-Adir, and Olivia Colman. That's a lot of star talent, even before Emilia Clarke joins. And basically, it's going to be about the Skrulls invading Earth and Nick Fury trying to figure out who the heck is a Skrull and who's not. Should be good stuff. You guys excited about this one? I mean, it's Disney Plus. Their shows have been okay.
That's funny. Yeah, I'm down. I mean, they can't go wrong right now, dude. I'm knock on wood, but yeah, that sounds like a good plan. I just don't know what they're going to do with the Skrulls plot because they switched it around a little bit.
I forgot. Here's some more information on the Skrulls. So Emilia Clarke is going to play a Skrull who was the former peaceful ruler of a land and had a couple of dragons, but peacefully ruled, and everyone was happy with how her 10-year ordeal ended. No?
Awesome.
Right. Sorry. Wrong show. Sorry. And people are still mad at Game of Thrones, man. I'm like, did y'all watch this series?
Because I was just like, I mean, at the same time, I know the book wasn't out, but I mean, that's her character. You saw, if you did not see this coming.
Yeah. Like, I don't see it. I can't see it. It's ridiculous. No, it's just exactly what she was doing. This was the path that she chose to walk. Now, speaking of Disney Plus, because we are as we record this episode, we're one episode away from the season finale, hopefully, of The Falcon and Winter Soldier. And they teased us mightily with the end of this last episode, to the point where I was like, can I just fast forward? Nothing of use can happen during this week. Let me just get to next Friday so I can see the season finale. What have you guys thought about this show, and has it completely justified your $80 subscription to Disney Plus, like me? Okay, maybe I'm going a bit far.
All right, seriously? When we said Disney Plus was going to raise the prices, I'm like, oh no. And then they keep giving me WandaVision and now Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Loki the next month after we actually done with this.
No, we've got Star Wars The Bad Batch in May.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, again, and this is not mentioning Clone Wars Season 7, which, is required viewing to watch Revenge of the Sith now.
Yep.
That's just new stuff. Like, yeah, it's worth $7, $8. Like, I'm still making sure we watch the old Spider-Man and X-Men joints, man. Like, that's what Saturday morning is here with my 3-year-old. We watch X-Men, we watch the old the 90s joints. Like, and then we can just have a marathon of Avenger movies. Like, that's just, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you're only talking about the new stuff, which is, like, already worth $8. Like, all this for $8? Yeah, raise the price. I don't care.
Yeah, I think it's like if Disney gets more content, it actually hits the point where you're like, do I really actually need Netflix anymore? I mean, because Netflix doesn't. I mean, their new stuff is like mostly just filler. You know, I can watch because I'm starving for content. But if Disney gets any more, you're like, I don't need it. I mean, I gotta go where my money is. But I think at this point you're just like, Disney doesn't do wrong when he's on shows like Falcon and Winter Soldier. And that cliffhanger, I think at the end of that episode, we were just, I think I texted you as soon as I was done watching. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, I need this next episode to be now. This is the time to give me a 2-hour episode. Just just drop it on us, and we will all watch this thing right now.
Right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody said, "Oh yeah, there's an after credits scene." I turned it right back on, like, "Oh my gosh, my dumb self didn't actually watch it." And then I saw that after credits scene, I'm like, "Y'all are dirty," but I appreciate it. And this is why. I mean, I know, like Chief mentioned, like probably during, I guess WandaVision is like how he didn't like the wait for a week episode format. But this is one time I was very much like, I hate y'all for doing, but I love the anticipation week before I see all that is going to be happening on Falcon next week. I mean, on Friday.
Anybody else?
I'm down, man. The joint is awesome. The fact that they put Isaiah Bradley's story up in here, I mean, you know, as like, you know, a sin that happened. And then also, I mean, it was kind of a, you know, the backstory behind the actual story and what happened, you know, with the dude getting kind of canned who did it. You know what I mean? From Marvel, like, they just brought it all back. So I'm hoping that, you know, they get paid, one. Two, that series is probably, like, jumped up in value. I haven't looked it up yet. But, what was it? You know, Truth, red, white, and black. Hmm?
You can't get it. It's not even available.
It's gone now, right? Like, you probably can't get it anymore.
No,
So
super expensive.
it was a limited series anyway.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
yeah.
What made it okay to pay for Disney Plus is DC Universe. Let's think about that for a second, man. When you was paying $75 for DC Universe, and then Disney came over and you realized you were paying just a little bit more for all the content on Disney, he was like, "Oh yeah, this is fine with me." You know what I mean? DC Universe has made anything with some good content worth paying for at this point. Because we was getting chill bit over around there.
We really were. Two shows, really, Doom Patrol and Titans. But they have nowhere near the caliber. Nowhere near the caliber of what we're watching on Disney Plus. I'm with you, Chief, man. That's why they moved all that shit to HBO. And when they did that, I was like, well, guess who's canceling the DC Universe? I told you. I said this on recorded podcast. Canceling that joint. No reason to have it anymore.
All right, so Master of None is going to come back, Jace, to give you a reason to keep your Netflix subscription. It is not going to feature Aziz Ansari's character. It will focus on Lena Waithe's character, Denise. So if you are attached to his character, who cares?
No.
But
what's stop right there. We don't need to go forward.
Joey.
No. Why? Because we tuned in to Master of None to see the adventures of his friend, whatever her name is. Yeah, no.
Denise.
What the hell? I don't turn on Happy Days to not watch The Fonz. I didn't like that show, by the way. But you know what I mean? People didn't turn on Happy Days to not watch The Fonz, sharp jumping or not. They watched for, you know, Joni and Chachi, right? Right? No. They wanted to watch the Fonz. Like, this is dumb. Like, this is really dumb.
Like that famous Kramer spinoff from Seinfeld.
Exactly. And or Joey. And pretty much all the must-see TV, TGI Friday, whatevers that tried to spin off into something else. Some worked, some didn't. You know, Perfect Strangers to Family Matters, but that worked. But, you know.
It's the Cosby Show with Elvin.
Well, they tried that. They moved Cosby and over to CBS, and that lasted for 3 seconds. So.
Yeah, Cosby buying the kids. No bias.
Nobody else, just the children, just running around.
Just running around.
We're just here trying to run a little deli shop. All right, well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot of foolishness. So coming up this week, Mortal Kombat is going to be on in theaters and HBO Max. On the level of 1 to 10, gentlemen, what is your level of excitement for this one? And bonus, what till now, assuming Mortal Kombat's worthwhile and decent, what video game has been the best of the genre, video game movie? that would make you say, all right, Mortal Kombat needs to be this good for me to consider it a great movie? All right, everybody's got their thinking cap on. Gunnar, why don't you go first?
First of all, I don't believe in video game movies. They all have ever sucked. I'm trying to think of one that did not. Maybe Resident Evil 1. Can't think of.
I think those movies were fine once we got past Super Alice. So the first one is really good because it's just Resident Evil, and it captures the theme of the movie. Although they don't focus in on any of the characters that people care about. But the first one was fine because it was Resident Evil.
Right. Maybe Mortal Kombat, the original Mortal Kombat, was great for its time because that's all we wanted, and the soundtrack was killer for its time. You know what I mean? So whenever I think about this movie coming out, that's the song is just in my head. So I'm like, on a scale of 1 to 10, 6. And if the soundtrack is bomb, I'll give it a 7.
Okay.
Just because I want to see what should have happened in the 90s.
All right.
We're not talking about Mortal Kombat 2. That's like Godfather 3. We don't do that.
We're going to have a long discussion on that movie at some point because I feel like you give it a bad rap that it does not deserve entirely.
Show me your animality. Yes.
You know what?
Thank you. No.
I'll break it down later. All right. Let's see. Chief, how about you?
Yeah. So I don't. But see, it's not really a video game. It's not really a movie pertaining. But the Spider-Man, the Spider-Man video games are pretty good. The regular one, the Miles Morales one, have been job decent, to be honest with you. Mortal Kombat itself, the video game, starts to get monotonous after a while. I mean, it's and I've never, to be honest with you, I've never learned anybody's moves. I just punch and kick until they fall. It's like, he's wobbling and like a little punch. But like I saw the Avengers video game that looked like some trash. I played the Spider-Man. I know that's good. Superman was some trash. I'm trying to think of anything else I know other than that was job decent, and I can't think of anyone other than Spider-Man off the top. Sonic, but I mean I don't think Sonic was. Everybody enjoys Sonic. Maybe Mario.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna go with mine. My excitement level for Mortal Kombat is 9 because my man Jimmy Olsen has a better job and he doesn't have that ridiculous hairstyle. So that automatically raises my excitement for it. In terms of video game movies, Doom is right near the top of the list because it's just go for it. And they give him the big gun in the end. It's ridiculous. And they don't care. And, for a video game movie, that's really all you need. So that's mine. If I were to go on a super worst video game movie, I would probably go Need for Speed because somehow it made Kid Cudi. They wasted his time. He was the only good thing about that movie. And they were like, yo, let's make a Fast and Furious movie from a video game.
Wait. That's worse than, what was it called? The one with Mark Wahlberg, I believe.
Max Payne? Max Payne's
Max Payne. I think it was a good movie, but
how they stumble into thinking that was the way to go with that, because Max Payne is this noir thriller kind of deal, and you can't do any kind of nuance with Mark Wahlberg. He's just like, yo, I'm just acting the same way I act in every movie.
Facts. Cool? I'm pretty sure that movie was based in Boston.
I think he may have had a Philly accent for that. Either way, it's trash. It's a terrible movie and awful. That's one I just haven't seen again and have no need to. Yeah. Not interested whatsoever. And
I saw it once. That was good.
Need for Speed is just bad though, because it's boring.
Yeah.
At least Max Payne is objectively bad, so I can just hate watch it. Need for Speed is like, how am I staying away for this?
And then Mario Brothers. How are you not I mean, Mario Brothers is probably the worst example.
But see, Mario Brothers was back in the old school time where it's like, yo, let's just try to do something. That was so long ago. Not in the era where they got access to actual good CGI. Like you can't give any movie a pass now. Like if you come up with a video game movie, it needs to deliver. You can't just go, yeah, we thought it'd be a good idea. Because if your movie looks worse than the game CGI, that's a problem.
Yeah.
James, what you got?
Okay. My level of excitement for Mortal Kombat is an 8 because the first thing they did brilliantly said, this is a rated R movie. Yeah. There is no way in heck we were going to go sit through a Mortal Kombat movie that didn't have as much blood as the video game. It was just not going to happen. Mm-hmm. I'm actually going to cheat a little bit. My favorite video game movie is actually Street Fighter 2, the animated movie.
You're cheating.
I know.
You're absolutely cheating. You can't. Yeah, that doesn't count.
Okay.
Come on, man.
If I was not
Street Fighter
cheating,
movies were great animated.
Right. If I wasn't cheating, it would be. I think I'm gonna have to agree with Gunn. I actually do like Mortal Kombat, the original. That actually is good. There's fighting in there. They kind of go with a loose story. And we had some classic lines. But my if you want to hate watch a movie, that you should choose as the other favorite video game, Street Fighter. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Yeah, thing is.
Oh.
But that's entertainingly bad. If you've seen The Legend of Chun-Li, that's awful.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry.
Both of them are very, very bad. You just don't watch them back to back ever.
Oh gosh, I think you would have
The Legend of Chun-Li. I kind of enjoyed The Legend of Chun-Li. I'm not gonna lie. Especially the club scene when she was in there dancing in the
That's how they drew me in. That didn't.
Right.
I was like, this is a bad movie, but I can't stop watching.
Hey, you guys are dudes. You watch this. All right, J. King. What's yours?
I'm excited as hell, man. I'm probably at a solid 17. Look, when they said Jason, like you hit it, rated R, and they got me. Somebody leaked the clip of Jax getting his arms pulled off. I was like, bet I'm there.
What?
I don't care. Yeah, buddy.
I'm there.
Yeah, dude, I'm there. That could have been. Hey, look, that ain't even got to make the cut for the final movie. Hey, I saw that, and I was like, yeah, I'm there, solid. So I'm excited as hell about it. I can't wait. It has to be better than
Did you see the friendship scene?
I did not.
Okay, I'm joking. Go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say, don't do that to me.
Was it between the girls? Because was it Melina and? All right.
I don't mind that. Now that I don't mind.
Melina and Sonya. Like, hey,
yeah.
How rated R is this?
NC-17 territory now.
But
you talking NC-17?
Oh, this is Shannon Tweed's territory. I'm like, yeah, her too. Shit.
I've gone too far. All right, JK, go ahead.
Manuel.
Right. Busty cops. All right, that's enough.
It needs to be better, man.
It needs to be better than, in my opinion, any of those Angelina Jolie Tomb Raider movies. Because we gave Angelina a pass. Those movies were trash. Now look, the last one they made a couple years back was pretty good. That was pretty good. That was an actual movie they made. I do want to say something, and like we missed the mark. A video game series that I think now they could do is Metal Gear. I know I've been going on Metal Gear because of Godzilla, but they really could do a Metal Gear right now. They really could. The CGI and everything is caught up.
They haven't done that yet because that should be easy. That's one where they don't even have to work hard with any special effects.
The story's good.
It's just an action movie. Or they could do a Splinter Cell movie. I mean, those should be easy, no-brainer ones. But they're like, nah.
If they do a Splinter Cell, he has to have the taser and he has to fry someone well beyond the point of taser, just because everybody who's played that game has done that and laughed their ass off.
Hey, listen, they had it coming.
Again, that's one of those games I actually watched Javon play. He literally would do that for like half the dudes.
Hey, you burn the stress off your way. Don't judge Javon. It's a judge-free zone here. But now it is time for us to do serious judging. Because, fellas, it is that time. Who are your nominees for Dummies of the Week? Jace, why don't you kick us off?
Oh, funny thing, easy one this week for me. We've already mentioned him. The Dummy of the Week is whoever on Hulu decided to greenlight How I Met Your Father. Because seriously, if CBS passes and they have the demographic, they've already had the first one, and they say, nah, we're not touching this, that would be like saying, hey, you know what? I know CW passed on the Arrows and the Canaries, but you know, we should give it a shot on Hulu. Just no. If you're that guy, you should have to reevaluate your credentials working for the network. So whoever greenlit that, whoever even took the meeting with them should be fired. So that is my dummy of the week.
Okay. Chief, how about you?
So it is the people who used to own my house.
Oh.
They are still coming to the house for their mail.
Son.
So listen, every other week, a different person knocks on my door, like, "Hey, do you have the mail?" So we're like, "Yo, we've accommodated you enough. Like, yo, why don't you get your address changed at this point?" So
If you moved into that house last year.
Listen, I don't know what they're doing. So there's two cars.
What the hell?
There's two cars in front of my neighbor's house, right? And I thought they were my neighbor's cars. Soon to find out, it's the people who live here's cars. They've left them on the street, just parked outside. Like, yo, but they don't know. Listen, I'm going to call the tow truck company, and I'm getting those cars towed away.
I like how you came closer to the camera to say that.
I want you to understand, because I want you to see in my eyes how ridiculous this actually is. At months later, your cars are still sitting, like either they don't run or you don't need them. And if that's the case, I don't want to look at them every day. I don't want to look at your broke down cars. I'm going to get them towed off. And if you want them, you can collect them at the Anne Arundel tow yard.
So you've even mapped out where they're going. Nice.
Yeah. So those are the dummies of the week because you're not getting mail here anymore. Once you show up, I'm going to say, hey, get out of here.
Get gone.
More mail here, yo. We're not the mail. We're not the post office. That's number one. And number two, good luck finding your cars.
I think you should give them a dress change deal.
Right.
Yeah, they should pay you to help them change the address and make sure they know
I got you.
that it's not free.
Yeah.
All right. Gunner, how about you?
Well, I was gonna say Nancy Pelosi, but these dumbasses over there, I think Chief wins. But nah, Nancy Pelosi, man, how you gonna say this dude who just got literally murdered, knee on his neck, made a sacrifice? That's what you say to soldiers. I'm just saying, okay, maybe some people can argue by definition, yeah, that was I don't know. I can't even fathom the logic.
She's not the first person to say that, so.
I know. That's why I don't get it. But she's the most, high up or whatever person of influence that has said that. Also, this does not look good with the whole, I'm going to kneel and do kente cloth because the CBC said so, and they thought it was a good idea, even though they're out of touch too, and do this photo op instead of actually do my damn job and pass legislation that could have maybe got rid of qualified immunity in the first place. But no, kente cloth kneeling, sacrifice, stupid speech, dummy of the week. Nope, not going to pass laws. Dumb speech.
Speech.
Mine is Brett Favre. I'm not going to go into all the reasons why he's the dummy of the week, but he's a dummy. He's been a dummy of mine for several decades. dating back to when John Madden declared him his favorite player of all time, basically, and hated on him anytime, or hated on my Niners every time we dared play the gunslinging, pill popping Brett Favre. He remains an idiot, and he had something to say about this. Like, oh, I'm sure it's an accident. Yeah, okay. Thanks, Brett. See you never. Go back to doing Levi's commercials and get back to the ranch. And thank you never. Okay. J. King, how about you?
Oh wow. Okay. Brett Favre, ladies and gentlemen.
Brett Favre. Listen, I will record an entire episode on how much I hate
But how much
and he is only followed by Troy Aikman. Gosh, but Brett Favre, if it was a face off, they would be the goats of quarterbacks and players that I hate the absolute most. And then followed in a distant third. Yeah. In a distant third is a guy who fell into 2 Super Bowls, Tom Brady, and then is declared the GOAT because he just kept hyping people to say it. Anyway, go ahead, Javon. I'm
sorry. I want to say it's Tucker Carlson, simply because, and Tucker Carlson could be a nominee every week. He's just a bombastic asshole. And the thing is, I should nominate myself for dummy for falling into this trap because he knows what he's doing. He's been doing it for a long time. Jon Stewart correctly, aptly called this guy a bullshit conservative right-wing hack. He plays into the stupidest segment of the American public because he knows they'll follow him unquestionably. They will believe everything he says, and he can be their Pied Piper. They'll follow him and have a built-in audience. He's done it once again with his comments on the whole Chauvin verdict, and it's like, look, more than anything, we everybody saw the tape. Look, when people across the globe are in protest and saying, "Hey," like one of the signs that stood out to me was a sign that was being carried by someone in Korea, which said, "American police, stop killing black people." What else do you need? What else?
I mean, yeah.
That's it.
Come on, right? So yeah, him but me for falling into that trap. This is what he does. This is what those people do. Don't let them rile you up.
All right. Well, fellas, that'll do it for this one. We are about to wrap this bad boy up, and we're closing in on episode 200. Stay tuned. Big stuff coming. We're not canceling the show, so don't be alarmed. We got some exciting things. Unless Brett Favre's lawyers come for me. But if so, bring it, Brett. All right. That's it. Thanks, fellas, for rolling. Thank y'all out there for listening. This episode of Lyle's Movie Files has no files.